lovelies, welcome back to AhhhSoNeo. I am so glad to see you. I am going to be doing a video today that I think everybody will enjoy. It will be my top 5 favorite luxury, high-end, premium, expensive foundations. So stick around if you'd like to see what my top 5 foundations are, and it's not going to be what you think, or maybe it is. Stick around and find out. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Naya of AhhhSoNeo, and today I am doing my top 5 high-end luxury premium is it worth the money foundations. So thank you so much for joining me on this video today. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. You guys are the real MVPs and you always come back, so I really appreciate that. If this is your first time to my channel, stick around, watch the video, see if you like me, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. And of course, I think we're gonna have a jolly good time. If you're also new to my channel, you might not know that I'm super duper into positive stuff, positive affirmations, just having a positive attitude in life. And I always either start or end my videos with this one little saying that keeps me going every day, which is choose happiness. Always choose happiness no matter what. Choose happiness. Happiness is a choice that you get to make choose happiness. It's a choice you get to make every day, every minute, every hour, every moment. Make sure you're making them right. So yeah, let's get this going. So I love premium foundations. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm a whore for high-end foundations. I don't have a problem with drugstore. I will on occasion buy a drugstore, but there's something about a really good high-end quality foundation that really gets to me. And I think really when you're on YouTube, so much of the focus is on the drugstore or the mid-tier brand, and there isn't somewhere where I feel you can go and find looks like the high-end stuff. I have a lot of high-end foundation reviews, and I'll put a link to that playlist here if you want to see individual reviews of all the foundations I'm going to share with you today. And yeah, well, let's just get going. And you know what, I'm going to go from my one I like the most and backwards. So so my top 5, but I'm going to start with number 1 because let's just get to the nitty-gritty. And I think most of you know exactly what my number 1 is going to be, because it is the La Mer. This is the La Mer Soft Fluid Longwear Foundation SPF 20. My color is Sienna 63. I find this to be a really good match for me, and it's La Mer. What can I say? Creme de la Mer. This is really what I love about this foundation is that it has a lot of good skincare quality products in it, and consistent use of this foundation for a couple of days, a week, and I touch my face and my skin feels so soft. I mean, was it worth the money? Yes. Although I will say, if you can get it on sale during Sephora sales and so on, do that and save you a little bit of coin, because this was not cheap. But really, for me, it's worth every penny. This is actually my second bottle. Yes. And yeah, I'm about a quarter of the way through this one. I use this the most out of all my foundations. Well, almost the most out of all my foundations. It's very soft and leaves my skin feeling really good. It's sheer to medium, although I'm sure if you kept going you could make it full, but I do not consider this a full coverage foundation. I'm not a fan of full coverage foundations, so we'll just start off there. But it really is very, besides being really soft, it's also just a nice and sheer medium coverage foundation. It doesn't get too heavy. It's not something that at the end of the day you want to wash off, or something that you feel like your skin ate it all up. I'm not going to speak, actually this goes for all the foundations I'm going to talk about today. Well, not all. Some I will talk about this. Okay. Okay. I don't think it has very strong mattifying properties. It's a foundation that has the skincare ingredients in it and not so much the mattifying skincare ingredients. So it's really very moisturizing, not too glowy. You're not going to be like, woo, go to the gods, but your skin is going to look very sensual, very much like your skin, very breathable, and honestly, people will want to touch your face. It's really, really that good. Number one, worth every penny. The other thing I wanted to mention briefly about the La Mer foundation is that they have added deeper colors. My biggest gripe about La Mer when they came out with this foundation was that they didn't have any deep colors. I believe they added like 3 deep colors when I bought this one, when I first bought this one, which was a couple years ago. And since then, they've come out with an additional 3 even deeper colors, which from what I've seen look like they have the right balance mix. A lot of color balance. A lot of times when foundation, when the people who formulate foundations try to go deeper and more brown, it's a matter of color balance. Do you add more blue to your brown? Do you add more red? What do you go with? And what I think happens with a lot of the foundation ranges is that it ends up being, the deeper colors end up being too red, which is not quite right because a lot of us are not red brown. But what they really need to do is go more blue in the color balance. And so from what I've seen of the new deeper colors for the La Mer foundation, it looks like they got that mix right. And I think the deepest color is something that would fall in the Nima Tang range, or people of Sudanese, East African, really deep dark chocolate brown skin, deeper than I am. So, well, good job there, La Mer. So this next foundation is one of my raved about foundations. I have been using this for years. This is my 3rd bottle, and I have a backup waiting just in case, because this brand will shut down a foundation line quicker than you can say boo. So a girl needs her backups. And I've actually done a comparison video between this foundation and my number 1 Holy Grail, kind of saying, well, what's the difference? And I'll link that one as well down below. And this is, of course, my beloved Chanel Le Beige Healthy Glow Foundation. I am a sucker for sheer foundations, foundations that really leave your skin looking like skin. And this does this so well. Yeah, so what I really love about this one is just how sheer it is and how my skin looks so skin-like when I'm wearing this, and I don't feel the need to powder. It's really one of my favorite everyday foundations. It's just put it on without thinking about it, walk out through the door. The bottle I'm holding here is a lighter bottle that I tend to mix with a slightly darker foundation. I also use this a lot to mix with other foundations that might be a little too dark. I always use this bottle to mix in with those other darker foundations as well, just to get the right color balance. My only gripe, well, I have 2, but my biggest gripe with this Chanel foundation is the fragrance. Excuse the lid there. You can tell it gets used and abused. But this does have a strong fragrance, and for those people who are sensitive to smell or don't want to smell, don't want their foundation to smell flowery, I know this can be a problem. But personally, once I've put this on, I don't smell it. Like right now, I don't smell it, but if I sniff it, yeah, okay, I can smell the floralness. If you're also sensitive to fragrances and they make you sneeze and so on, then this might be a problem for you. But I find that after I put it on, within a couple of minutes the smell fades, or maybe I get used to it, but for me it's not something that bothers me all day, as I've heard some people mention. The only other gripe I have about this foundation is that the color range was a little limited. It did not go, well, this is 91 because this is my winter shade. I think there was only 2 shades deeper than this one, 121 Caramel, which is my perfect shade match, and then 152. And lately when I've been looking on different websites, I don't see 152, and on occasion I don't see 121. And in my experience, that's how Chanel fades out colors, is that they just stop making them. You go on the different websites, you don't see them anymore. So it's something to look out for. If you're a fan of the Le Beige foundation and you use 121 or the 152 color, stock up. Don't say I didn't warn you, stock up. But this is a really, really great foundation. It's very loose, the packaging is loose, everything is loose. The pump works perfectly still. And maybe not travel friendly since it's glass, but highly recommend that one. Okay, now I'm going to talk about something that's a little bit newer to the market, a little bit maybe more exciting, something that I tried last year and I fell in love with it. It is the Pat McGrath Labs Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. Oh, these names. Beautiful. I love the high-end look of this as well. I mean, this is what I love for me personally about the high-end foundations is the packaging. I'm a sucker for packaging. This we know, people. And something about this is just so incredibly luxe for me. The gold top, the fact that it comes with the pump already, the glass frosting, her fancy gold label. This I really love. This also kind of reminds me of Estee Lauder packaging, I'm not gonna lie. Something about this makes me think Estee Lauder, so go figure, who knows. I really like this lid too. But I love this foundation. I'm not really big into mattifying foundations because I'm not an oily skin girl. However, I do tend to be a little bit more greasy during the summer, so I'm ready for the summer with this because I know it's going to be on. I do use this with the primer it came with. I bought the primer, not sure if I was going to keep it, but I have found for me that definitely I have to use this with the primer, and that is for one reason and one reason only. The third or fourth ingredient on this foundation is alcohol. And in my review video, I kind of go into why alcohol would be listed so high on a foundation. So you can click on that video there if you want to see that. It has a lot to do with Pat McGrath's own history as a makeup artist at fashion shows and so on, when you don't have a lot of time to do people's makeup. What it does do is help this foundation set, dry down. What it does do is help this foundation set and dry down and you know, be ready for the next step very quickly on the skin. However, for me, I have dry skin, and so I find alcohol in my products to be a no-no. Typically, if a product has alcohol in it, no. Especially, I should say, listed so high up the ingredient list. However, because of the moisturizing primer that this comes with, I really found the combination of the two made it worth it for me. And so I had this sample a couple of times. I used it on its own, wasn't too happy, but when I've mixed it with the primer, we've been good to go. And I think in the summer also with that too, and I'm a little greasy, I think this is going to be perfect. So definitely made it to the top of the list. And next one, which is going to be so funny because I don't have a picture. I mean, I don't have the product yet, and I'll explain that in a bit. But I tried a sample from Sephora, and I loved it, and I'm getting it. It is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. Now, it's a moisturizer mattifying foundation. I don't know what that means. Typically, if I see the word matte or mattifying in a foundation, no, not for me. It's just not for me. But I wanted to try this one because one, there was so much freaking hype. So I'm gonna try it. And two, I ended up loving it. Something about the way they've put their ingredients together, because let's be honest, you can have exact same ingredient list, but different concentrations and different formulations will make a difference. You know, if it's at 97% water versus 95% water, it will make a difference on how that product feels once it's on your skin. So I don't know what they did when they did the mattifying moisturizing thing, but this is one of only 2 mattifying foundations that I wear that feel comfortable. And again, with the caveat that with the disclaimer, I guess, that I am not an oily skin girl, so mattifying foundations are not for me. But there are days when I am on, you know, presenting in front of people or doing something, going for a whole day, where I will want something that's mattifying. It's definitely less occasion use, maybe I don't know, once a month versus other foundations that I will use much more regularly than that. But it's always good to have something like that in your arsenal if you need it. And so, but this foundation, literally, I put it on and I don't want to scratch my face off at the end of the day. I don't want to be like, oh, I'm so dry. What is on here? No. That foundation, I put it on and it looks matte. It looks dried down. It looks perfect. Even if I powder it, at no point do I feel like I look cakey. And the color match was spot on. And I'll add that video because I have a review of that one. I will add that video here as well. And I absolutely love it. It's a great, great foundation. And Charlotte really, really knocked it out the park. With Pat McGrath, I am medium 24 deep. Medium deep 24. Yep. And with Charlotte Tilbury, I'm number 13 neutral. Typically, I find for me that if I just buy a neutral shade, if they have the red or the warm or the cool or the red, I just buy neutral, and I typically find that works well. Where I will go is to round up, yes, my top 5 luxury foundations. And of course, you cannot have a top 5 list of luxury foundations and not include the Giorgio Armani luxurious luminous silk foundation. Between this and the Maestro, because I love the Maestro foundation, but honestly, the luminous silk foundation by Giorgio Armani is amazing. This is shade 11, which is, sometimes I will mix it with my Chanel just to tone it down a little bit because it's a little warm. I was matched to 10.5 or 11. I bought the 11 because it was summer, but now that it's winter, I like to mix it a little bit, maybe tone it down just a little bit with that Chanel foundation. And I am actually wearing this one today. Yeah, so, great foundation. It's not too heavy, it's not too cakey, it's not too powdery, it's not too luminous. It's just the right amount of glow. And I'm not wearing highlighter or anything like that today, so it's just my natural shine coming through. Just so easy to use, easy to spread around your face, easy to blend, not patchy, doesn't get patchy as the day goes on. I've been wearing this all day. I powdered when I put it on this morning. I haven't touched my face since, and I think I still look pretty damn good. So, I mean, just one of those foundations that you just put it on and forget about it, and I absolutely love that. Another thing I absolutely love, Giorgio Armani, if you're on their email list, I would say like every other month they send out an email list saying 40% off the website, and luminous silk is often on that list. I mean, for all of these foundations, if you can get them on sale and save yourself 20%, go for it. The hardest one to get on sale is, of course, Chanel, because it's Chanel. But during the Sephora sales, definitely pick this up during on sale. Or if you're on that email list, you could get it for up to 40% off. And to me, that is definitely worth the point. Okay, guys, that is my top 5 favorite luxury, high-end, super duper expensive foundations. Maybe I should say how much these are, because yeah, okay, so Pat McGrath I think is $64. Luminous Silk Giorgio Armani is $64. La Mer is now I believe $120. It used to be $110. Really, La Mer. And Chanel Le Beige is I believe $60 as well, and the Charlotte Tilbury is about $44. And even though it's more mid-range than super duper high luxury, and I will put it up against any of these foundations any day. It's definitely worth it. Guys, that is it. I hope you enjoyed my review of my top 5 favorite high-end luxe foundations. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all that good stuff, and I hope to see you back here soon. Leave a comment, guys. Bye-bye.